Welcome to Living the Dream Iowa Life. I'm your host, Hannah Nuss, and each weekday we'll share enthusiasm for what's possible and dive into the stories of Iowans living their dream lives right here in the heartland. Whether you're chasing a big goal or just looking for a little inspiration, we've got you covered. Let's change the world together. This is Living the Dream Iowa Life. Let's go. Heyo, welcome to Living the Dream Iowa Life podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Nuss, and we are gonna do it. Today we are talking about what are you passionate about? That's the connection question of the day. What are you passionate about? And I think for me, what are the things that I get fired up about? They have changed over time, but I do feel like there was kind of an undercurrent of connection through all of them. And today I want you to make a list about the things that you're passionate about and then sort of make check marks every time that you think of when you are doing that. When are you working in your passions? When are you capable of actually giving time to that? Dedicated time. My passions, one of the things that I would have said is deeply loving the people that are around me, my family. And if I was being honest, back in my old life, did I make time for that? Absolutely not. No. And really, I mean, I made time for it. I would meet my sisters for shopping. I would, I don't know, we would kind of superficially meet up and do things, but I couldn't really love people there, right? On that level, be there for someone. That was just being by each other, not really having any reason to connect and any real way to connect, because I don't know, shopping is just sort of a superficial activity in and of itself. And so I was there, but not really, because that's not a super conscious experience. And now I just realize I do commit time to that, to building those relationships, to being there for people when I can. And usually it looks like taking up physical space with them. And usually it's at homes, not outside of the home, outside of their home, outside of my home, because that gives us space for our kids to bond. That gives us space for us to bond, to experience one another in this safe, energetic space. And so one of my passions was definitely my family. And I think most people would write that down, whether that's out of guilt or not, right? We are supposed to love and be passionate about our family and our friends. We're supposed to write that. We're supposed to want that. I would have literally said, I know I'm supposed to write my family here. So I guess I will. But before, really the only thing I was passionate about was work. I remember saying, like, yeah, I mean, I have these amazing kids. It's great. They're amazing. I love them. But they're better off at daycare. They are better off not with me. Like, this is a better balance for all of us, because work really was what I was passionate about. And my kids, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm being super honest. Work still came first. I can remember my kids sleeping under my desk at work when they were super sick instead of just taking the day. You know, whether I had PTO or I didn't, what should come first? Probably cuddling with that sick kiddo. No question. No question now. And I don't know. I was just completely unbalanced, completely sure of what I was supposed to be passionate about. I knew to be passionate about things that could provide, things that were productive and sustainable and created cash flow. That was what I told. That's what I was told to be passionate about. Be passionate about things that were going to produce money. Nothing else. That's it. Focus on getting a job that can make you a lot of money. This passion thing, that's wild. And I remember because I felt really called to stay in athletics. Didn't want to give it up. Got asked to be on coaching staff, and I was like, no, it's time to grow up. This is not what I am supposed to do. I am supposed to go out and make money. This is not something that is going to make money. This is a silly passion. This is silly. People don't do this as a job, but yet people do. And I was literally working with people who did. And I remember working that semester as a college coach and then graduating that December and just being like, okay, it's time for the real world. No more of this passionate sport thing. This is silly. This could be a silly side passion that you have. But your job now is to job. That's it. And then I remember continuing my job at the Buckle, but moving it to full time because, right, I needed to grow up and make money and save for a wedding and do all the things. And so it was time. It was time. And I work full time at the Buckle, and I love everything about retail. I loved it. I love helping people. I love talking to people every day. I love the entire experience. I loved putting together the store sets. I loved getting to think through how to find the perfect thing for the customer when they came in. I loved every part of it. And then people were like, oh, don't you hate working weekends? Don't you hate like that you make commission? Isn't that super sucky? Don't you hate that? Oh, don't you hate working in a mall? Don't you want like a grown-up job? That was what you did in college. Oh, isn't that kind of embarrassing? Don't you not like that? To be doing the same thing you did through college? Oh, you're just gonna move up as manager? Don't you see how stressed out people are? Like, don't you not like this? And I actually really liked it. I did. It was some of the best work experience that I have had to date. I know my manager was super burnout, but I think she had other stuff going on. But I do think, yeah, I loved it. And before the world told me that I wasn't allowed to, I really thought, this is the track. This is going great. I love selling jeans. I love retail. I love talking to people. This is really great. And then kind of the world pushed me on and said, nope, something more meaningful. This is kind of a weak experience. Like, you're supposed to do more. You got a college education for a reason. What are you doing with it? And so I sort of followed that into corporate healthcare and found passion there. I loved the same thing, helping people, but helping them on a deeper, more meaningful level was really awesome. And I sort of followed that track for a while, went back to school because I felt really passionate about changing healthcare, about making healthcare better. And then sort of got into this loop where I realized there is no way to make this better. Not from where I was, certainly. And as much as I would have tried, I would have died trying, without question. because I don't know, it felt like I was just waiting for my hair to turn gray for people to believe that I was ready to lead, and I couldn't wait anymore. And I didn't feel passionate about it the way that I did. And I think really I was just convincing myself that this was not only important, unlike selling jeans was to other people, unlike athletics were to other people, this was not only important work to do, but it was also really going to be a financially smart choice. And this is what we are to do: make smart financial decisions, do the secure and safe thing. And that's what I was telling myself. You feel passionate about this because this is good work to do. This is good work to do. You are helping people. That is what you're supposed to do. This is the non kind of crazy path to go down. This is it. Isn't it wonderful? It's not weird. Everybody understands healthcare. It's perfect. Go down that path. Yes. People get it. Don't answer these cravings, these callings. Don't do no. Don't do that. Don't do the passion thing. People aren't passionate about their jobs. They just aren't. And that's okay. That's where we all want to be. Is living life, paying the bills, living the dream. Like that. Hey, how are you today? Just living the dream. Oh, I'm sorry. I could just feel the impact of your soul leaving your body when you said that. What? Why aren't we doing things that we're passionate about? And I know the list of safety and security and the realities of bills and structures and regular life. I know. I am not oblivious to that. But I do live in this very wonderful, delicious world where when we want things, the world kind of gives us what we need. And acting like it's not in our power is sort of the craziest move that we've ever had. When I was confident that I wanted to leave my job, and believe me, I would say that confidence was the opposite of what I was. We had already been kind of financially setting ourselves up to be able to take that step. And when I say we, I'm very blessed to have a partner in this life who understands that my soul was slowly sucking out of me. And certainly, as he works to provide safety and security in our lives, he's probably going through the same. And there will be a change of hands. He will get to go on this discovery process as well. There will be a payback, unquestionably. But for right now, this is where we're at. And we got to make a plan for what this was going to look like. And part of that plan was definitely becoming a caregiver, something that I had never planned on being, something that I had never promised myself I would be as a mother. I would always kind of be the secondary, most important, but kind of secondary, not giving the majority of their care. And man, once I got to know them and got to spend time with them and sort of was able to spend real time with them, to really get to know them, to really take time. I figured out how unhealthy that approach was, how unpassionate I was about my legacy, my children, the one thing that I got to make in this world, the one deliberate action that I certainly took. Like, okay, this is a gorgeous man with gorgeous genetics, with gorgeous attributes, with this like makeup of human that I cannot help but continue the gene line of. This must continue, unquestioned. And so we made these humans, but I had never spent real time with them. My kids were in daycare at 6 weeks, both of them. And part of the trade-off was me coming home and us kind of foregoing a lofty daycare bill. And that was completely in our control. Okay, what does that look like? How do we do that? How do we save so we ensure that we could kind of ride any storm out that might come up through this figuring out phase? And that's a big sacrifice. That's a big weight for one person to kind of carry. But we have rode through a lot of different storms over time. And inevitably, what I figured out was, man, I want to be with these kids all day, every day. Is that crazy? What a wild thing to want. Yeah, we all want that. We all want to be with our kids all day, every day. But we can't do that. No. What if instead of we can't, or doing the things that we're passionate, it's not something that's possible, we start figuring out how? And how often? What are the things on your list that you are passionate about? Let's actually write it out. What am I passionate about? And it's likely, because if I would have made this list when I was working my corporate job, I don't know that it would have made it on there. Maybe early on. It would have made it on there, and honestly, nothing else would have. I probably would have had my job and coaching. And now that list is like so very long. It's so long. And when I make that list, I can make check boxes on the ways that I am doing those things when I am doing them. And there are actual things that I do every day to help make sure that I am practicing the things that I am passionate about, to help make sure that I am doing those things. And I think, too often we're sort of handing that over and we're saying, not for me. I can't do the things that I want to do. We couldn't just up and leave because we want to kind of be nomads and travel, and we couldn't just do that. You couldn't? Why? Well, jobs. Yeah, so there's like a bazillion remote jobs. Okay. So just maybe finding a different job. Also, if you're nomads and you're planning to sell your house, there's going to be a major adjustment in bills. So, do you need to work? I don't know. Have you ran the numbers? Because I think for me, one of the biggest things that was holding us back was like, we could just never do that. Financially, it'd be impossible. And then we literally sat down, ran the numbers. All right. If we take because right now, our daycare bill is, I don't know, probably $1,200 a month, probably more. Oof, how would we ever pay that? Well, what if we didn't pay that anymore? Because what if kids were just home? Okay, well, that takes a pretty good chunk of the bills out. All right, well, we got these cars. I don't know, what do we got these car payments. Do you need 2 cars if both of you aren't working outside of the home? Well, yeah, we got a lot of different things. I mean, do you need 2 super stable cars? Are you okay with one person just driving kind of a work car that you pay cash for? These are kind of all of the questions that continue spiraling. And we start to think about as we go through and figure out, is this something that's possible? And so if we just list out what we are passionate about, what life could look like if we were living in our passions, doing the things that we love, spending time with the people that we love. If we write that list down, how often are we actually doing that? Doing any of those things? Because I think oftentimes the reason that the answer to the question and the literal title of the podcast, Living the Dream, I think the reason that that is our answer is because we don't even know what the dream is anymore. We're so far removed from it. We don't even know what makes us passionate in this life. We don't know what we're passionate about. We are just living the dream, just living the dream, slowly dripping and draining our soul. Unquestioned. And it's time. It's time to rediscover our passion, ourselves. It's time to stop answering that. Literally, living the dream Iowa life. Living the dream. That's what we want. What is the dream? And it's tough. I am telling you. It is tough to go, well, that's not how everybody did it. That would be weird. Are we sure? I say it to my kids all the time. Hey, don't be weird now. Don't be weird. And yet, why not? What is the harm in people not being so carbon copy? What's it gonna hurt for people to be different, to find their actual selves and souls? What happens when we do that? Well, maybe we stop answering the question with just living the dream. Maybe we start writing down lists of things that we are passionate about and get serious about how often we are doing those things. Because usually we're just leaving it to the weekend, to that next vacation, to the, oh yeah, I mean, I want to do that, but yeah, in a dream world. Like literally, what is the dream world? And what you have to know about some of this is that parts of it, parts of the passion are kind of coming through as probably somewhat burnt out response. Okay. So if you're feeling burnt out, sometimes the biggest call is going to be for freedom, to stretch your wings, and it's going to sound like a lot of rest and wanting to vacation. And you're going to say, well, you can't just rest all the time. I promise once you have healed that burnt out portion of yourself, there won't be a call for rest. There will be sort of a revival, a rekindling of the spirit of the fire of the passion. It will come back. Right now, it just sounds like, I just want to be free. And I just want to do whatever. I just want to sleep. You're like, well, you can't just sleep all day. You will get past that. And you will find what work and life needs to look like from here. You will. But initially, it is probably going to seem like a lot of rest, a lot of laziness that you are not going to even allow yourself to experience. But when we make a list about the things that we are passionate about and we really make ourselves realize how little we are doing the things that we say we love, then we can get serious about making our way back to that and letting ourselves experience those kinds of things more often, getting more intentional with that. And then, Hannah, don't go here. What? and then maybe figuring out how to make our way there. Yeah. I don't know, because I think when we say that it's impossible, it kind of takes the responsibility off. We say, oh, that's impossible. We could never, ever do that. We could never live like that. I want to live like that so badly, but I could never, ever do that. What if you start saying how? How could we do that? What would need to shift? Do I need this nice of car for the next 3 years, or could we save that to make this leap possible? Do we need to live off of 2 salaries, or could we live off of 1? Could we train ourselves to do that? Could we, work to pay everything off so we have no need for a salary at all? I know, and that's beyond, right? We can't do that. But what would it look like to take some of those risks to start making our way towards the things that we're passionate about? That really is the question of the day today. How can we make our passion projects something that we allow ourselves to do more of? Yeah, give into the goodness. Because the beauty of giving into the goodness and experiencing passion in the things that you say you're passionate about is that it continues to build and light a path forward. As always, you're smart, you're strong, you're beautiful. What are you going to do? Change the world.